What makes a game memorable? Is it its story, maybe its music, or its level design? One of my favorites is characters, whether it's the characters I play as, characters I play alongside of, or the characters with no character whatsoever. But another thing that makes a game memorable to me is one that I feel has been going out of style in recent years: the secrets. Games have so many places to hide secrets, and for years that's what they did. Everywhere you would look in a game, there would be some fun hidden stuff to find. Well, what if we took those two favorite things in games and combined them into one? One thing that can make a video game memorable more than anything else. And my personal favorite, that thing is
Do you play video games? Call and power up with EGM, Electronic Gaming Monthly.
The year is 1992. Jay Leno just premiered The Tonight Show. I'm a Sperm. Bill Clinton just entered office.
No. Wait.
And parents across the country are outraged when a fighting game is released into arcades.
Northridge with more on that story. Carol?
Here it is, Bob, behind me. It's called Mortal Kombat, and we're going to talk to Aaron Brandis here about the game. Aaron, how does it work?
Well, basically, you pick a couple characters, you do maneuvers on the joysticks and buttons.
Cold-blooded murder is making Mortal
One-on-one duel to the death, where players beheaded, speared, and did other absolutely abhorrent things to their opponents to win. Needless to say, parents were the biggest fans of their little boys getting hands on this absolute gore fest. Players got to pick from a varied cast of characters to brutalize each other with. We got
Johnny Cage.
the egotistical Hollywood actor turned karate master,
Rated Doctor.
the God of Thunder.
Scorpion.
Boy, if you don't get...
Players loved Mortal Kombat for its previously mentioned violence and characters. But repeated offenders of the Mortal Kombat craze would notice that very rarely, before a match started, a green ninja would fall from the sky and start saying some really vague stuff like, "You have to find me to beat me." I kind of picked that up, honestly. This was strange because if you have any passing knowledge of Mortal Kombat, you know its flagship ninjas are mustard and Glacier Freeze Gatorade colored. So some relish color ninja showing up speaking enchantment table is really weird. This is Reptile, the first unlockable character ever in a video game. A character not immediately selectable from the character screen was something completely unheard of at the time, and people could not get enough of it. Almost overnight, playground rumors about how to unlock the Green Ninja took over elementary schools and arcades across the country, with the only things to go on being his hints he would rarely drop, like "Look to La Luna," "Perfection is the key," and "Blocking will get you nowhere." These hints eventually led players to decipher the gauntlet of requirements to challenge him. In order to challenge Reptile, you have to achieve a double flawless on the pit stage, and you have to end it in a fatality. If that wasn't hard enough, you have to do it all without blocking a single time. But even that's not the end, there's still more. You have to do all of that when there is a little silhouette flying by the moon. This happens on average once in every 50 games if you're extremely lucky.
朋友是一个坚韧不拔的纪录片，在香港这座城市的设置。主演钱德勒、罗欧斯、福波斯伊、瑞秋、莫妮。
I hate this channel.
If you successfully pull all of that off somehow, then you get an attempt at taking him out. Needless to say, Mortal Kombat fans ate this up. Trying to piece together how to find a hidden, brand new character brought a whole new layer to the game. Not to mention the brutal challenge of actually getting to him and the bragging rights gained from getting Reptile were immense. It proved that you mastered all the mechanics of the game. It didn't take long for other developers to notice the buzz brought to then Midway Games through their implementation of Reptile. Midway had led the charge on a new way to think about characters in video games. They had invented the hidden video game character. NBA Jam slammed into arcades in 1993, and it was pretty much a hit from the moment it arrived. NBA Jam is special compared to all of its modern rivals. It has some absolutely iconic music, an excellent roster of NBA All-Stars, and some excellent, if slightly fantastical basketball gameplay. Now, the NBA Jam franchise is well known for its many secrets and cheat codes. In fact, the famous DK, not that one, the DK or Big Head code, seen in games like GoldenEye 64 or Just Cause 3,
oh, change is good,
originates from this game. But this game's secrets are not restricted to codes that let you smack your little cousin into the Shadow Realm. If you're particularly sneaky, some of these codes can unlock some secret characters for you. Now, as far as characters go in this game, it's basically what you'd expect, except the notable exceptions of Michael Jordan and Shaquille O'Neal, and Bill Clinton. That's right, if you so choose, you can face Scottie Pippen as the 42nd president himself, Bill Clinton. Can we get much higher? The way you unlock Billy C is actually pretty easy. Cheat codes.
Clara!
On the initial entry screen, like before you do anything, enter the initials AR, then highlight the letter K. Once you've done that, hold the start and L buttons down and then press X. Now you can live out the dream of being the President of the United States, slam dunking on Karl Malone like you've always wanted to. Now if you're wondering what those steps to unlock him meant, so am I. It probably has a deeper meaning, but I couldn't find anything online after my 5 minutes of research, so if anyone knows, please enlighten me. This began a precedent of the Jam games including famous figures in their games. For example, in NBA Jam Online, which came out a solid few years later, you could play as Josh Smith, or you could come hoop with the big boys as Barack No Last Name Obama.
Come on board and bring along all your hopes and dreams. Together we will find everything that we're looking for. One piece. You are watching.
Come on, bro. The calcium in milk helps bones grow.
Nintendo, for the very first time in their history, was losing the video game's arms race to another company. That company was Sony. And a few years earlier, they had released the PlayStation, which was just a big fat spit in the face to Nintendo.
Now, that's not funny.
Nintendo, wanting to fight back and be at least somewhat close to the cutting edge of the industry, released their brand new weapon of war, the Nintendo 64, along with its brand new flagship 3D platformer.
Yo, listen up.
We will not live in a two-dimensional world.
We will change the system.
And at the same time, they dropped these bomb-ass commercials where they started roasting other people. And, come on. This is hard. Now, Mario 64 is a very special release in gaming as a whole.
What's going on with you? What are you talking about?
See, there was 3D games before Mario 64, but none of them were Mario 64.
This is awful in every way.
You see, there had been games that, had tried to do the whole 3D movement thing, but all of them sucked, for lack of a better word. They sucked.
Ew, you nasty ass bastard!
Mario 64 found a way to perfect 3D movement on its first try. Check any top 10 greatest games ever list on Forbes or BuzzFeed or goddamn IGN. It's like number 1 or number 2. It's only ever beaten by Ocarina of Time.
Fuck you!
But this game is special outside of just the technical limits it broke when it came out. It's special because of the way the game feels to just exist in. Some people would refer to this game as a liminal space. And if you don't know what a liminal space is, it refers to when a location that would normally be comfortable or nostalgic is slightly altered and strange. Think Gary's Mod single player, Minecraft single player, your elementary school single player. Can you blame them for thinking this way? I mean, you crawl through a hole in the wall just to end up in a water-filled Minecraft brick block in the sky. The somewhat dreamlike feeling of this game quickly led to rumors being spread about what was possible in it. The possibilities, especially as a kid, seemed endless, whether it was reaching the Peach painting before the first Bowser level, catching the Boo in the hallway, or what you're all probably expecting and probably waiting on me to say, Luigi in the courtyard fountain. Yahoo! Right before the basement section of the game, you have the option to head down a long-ass hallway and out into the castle courtyard. Aside from all the ghosts wandering around, at first, it doesn't seem like it has a whole lot to offer. And it doesn't, unless you're a little bit of a conspiracy theorist. You see, there's a statue in the middle of the fountain of what the sign says is supposed to be the Eternal Star, but astute players noticed that the actual text in the game didn't look like it said that. Some players say the statue really says L is real 2401.
What?
Who is texting me on Discord, bro? Shut up. Supposedly, the L is real part of the message means Luigi exists in the game. Okay, makes enough sense. What about the rest? The 2401 is a little more divisive. Some say it means you have to collect 2,401 coins, which some say is the exact amount of coins in the game. Once completed, Luigi would burst out of the water and become playable. Now that's all well and good, but is it possible? No, of course it's not possible. Everyone and their mom knows about the Luigi myth. It's one of the most iconic gaming myths of all time. In fact, IGN put a $500 bounty to anyone who could come forward with definitive proof of Luigi being in the game. Though the story doesn't end with just L not being real. You see, 2401 is shockingly close to the date of a game Luigi was actually in, Paper Mario, which was released on February 5th, 2001. Which is just insane. Like, what are the odds of that? It's probably just a coincidence, but it is really strange. Now, if I was telling the story 2 or 3 years ago, it would have ended here. But as of 2020, we got some story DLC for this bitch.
You insignificant fuck. This is not over.
In 2020, the Nintendo Giga Leak happened. An anonymous user on 4chan decided that they were gonna leak thousands and thousands and thousands of files and images from the inside of Nintendo. Like some Mission Impossible Tom Cruise level stuff. These files contained everything from canceled games to working prototypes of lost games from decades ago. One of these files leaked on the forum was from Mario 64, and believe it or not, it was a scrapped model of Green Mario himself. This discovery validated so many people's decades of theorizing ways to get Luigi, or if he was even planned for the project at all. Now people have fully recreated his model in game, and with some clever modding, you can play as Luigi natively in Mario 64. It seems L was real after all. Thank you. I'll be here all night.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Biohazard 2.
In 1998, Capcom was in the prime of its life. Running with 2 big hitter franchises, Street Fighter and Resident Evil.
That was too close.
You were almost a Jill sandwich.
This is the most obnoxious thing I've ever experienced in my life.
Both of them being pop culture icons around the world. Resident Evil created the modern survival horror genre as we know it. And yeah, I know, before you say it, sweet home this and sweet home that. Now, trying to follow up the monumental success of the first Resident Evil game was not a simple task. How do you follow up a genre-defining success like that? Well, it wasn't easy. Through multiple delays, entire character reworks, a change in directors, and a long-lost video game, it arrived. If Resident Evil 1 created the survival horror genre, Resident Evil 2 perfected it. Featuring 4 total rounds to take through the game, starring Leon. No, not that one. The rookie cop on his first day. Sorry about that. And Claire Redfield, the badass sister of Chris Redfield. Chris Redfield, one of the protagonists from the first game. This game was packed to the brim with spooky, zombie-killing goodness. Now, in order to understand the tale I'm about to weave for you, you need to understand how Resident Evil games are structured, more specifically, Resident Evil 2. Like I said just a minute ago, there are 4 routes to take through this game. These are divided into 2 paths, Leon A and Claire A. This is the main story of the game, the meat and potatoes, either starring Leon or Claire going on their respective adventures, fighting zombies and tearing down evil CVS. Once you beat either of these A scenarios, you get taken to the respective B scenario. This is sort of a behind-the-scenes story where you get filled in on what the other characters were doing during the main adventure. At the end of these routes, you get a letter grade based on a few things like deaths, saves, and time. This system was, and still is, the standard of the Resident Evil franchise. It's a major reason these games caught on. It's extremely fun and addicting to try to get a better rank than your previous run, especially when there are rewards involved. In April 1998, issue 46 of Electronic Gaming Monthly 2, in the Trick of the Month section, readers were shocked to see a discovery of a new hidden character hidden somewhere in the depths of Resident Evil 2. That character was none other than Akuma from Street Fighter. To get the famed Satoken Killer playable, first play through the game, both scenarios, 6 times through. During all of these, you must only use the knife and handgun and achieve an A ranking in all scenarios. Once achieved, you will get a clue. Start the game a 7th time and enter the word Akuma in the lab security computer in both scenarios. This should give you access to Akuma. The issue goes on to say that when you start as Akuma, he would bust out of a cryopod and can go anywhere in the game without any keys and can shoot instant kill fireballs infinitely. Now, if you know anything, the slightest modicum of information about Resident Evil, hearing this, you're probably thinking about how this would absolutely break this game. And you're right. It totally would, and it sounds badass. But you're probably thinking, of course Akuma isn't in Resident Evil 2. But it's not as impossible as you might think. The Resident Evil games are no stranger to hidden characters, whether that's Mega Man hidden on the sprite sheet of one of the characters, or straight up playing as a block of tofu for some reason. Hidden characters were nothing new to Resident Evil fans. On top of that, Resident Evil and Street Fighter, as mentioned at the beginning, are both made by Capcom, so legally they could easily implement Akuma into another one of their games. It's like Link showing up in a Mario game. It's not likely, but it's happened before. Now, I'm sorry to say that I didn't test the unlock method Electronic Gaming Monthly mentioned myself, as I don't actually own a copy of the original Resident Evil 2, and my attempts to get it running on an emulator, attempts to play it totally legally, were useless. But the fine folks over on Game Sleuth already tackled this mystery years ago. Let's see how Akuma played out for them.
On the start of our 7th playthrough, when we were finally able to access the security computer in the Umbrella Underground lab, we typed in Akuma in all caps as directed. However, as expected, an error message kept popping up. The only way to advance was to type in guest as usual. So, yes, if you had any doubt, unlocking Akuma in Resident Evil 2 is nothing more than a hoax.
Oh. Yeah, Akuma is not actually playable in Resident Evil 2. Big shocker, I know. As you can probably tell after this and the last section, EGM is absolutely notorious for its April Fool's jokes and pulling one over on the entire gaming community. Now, it might be kind of hard to believe that people ever believed these things, but in the 90s, it was the leading source of gaming information. So if they said something, it probably was just for sure correct, because you couldn't Google it, you couldn't look it up to see that some guy on Reddit already found all of the secrets from data mining the game as soon as it dropped, that you have to put your phone number in the wall, beep boop 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 boop. That didn't happen. When a reputable magazine such as EGM says you get Akuma as well as showing some convincing pictures, it was pretty easy to believe, and people who didn't try to unlock him probably just wrote it off as real. After all, who wouldn't want to play as what's basically a superhero in a video game?
Jim, the garbage isn't gonna take itself out.
You don't just play it, you live it.
Jim?
Spider-Man the game, rated E for everyone. From the creators of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
PlayStation.
Tony Hawk, known as the most famous skater in history. He was what every rebel teen and what every non-rebel, rule-following white boy wanted to be. I mean, look at him doing this, and this, and this. He's awesome.
Me riding has a special place in my heart.
But he hasn't always been the face of skateboarding like he is today. All of that came on June 27th, 1999, when he landed the very first 900-degree spin. Holy sh! The dude could have easily severed his spine or just outright bit it. But he didn't, so he basically speedran getting famous. He was on the cover of magazines, he was in commercials, landing major brand deals left and right, and if things couldn't get any better, he got his own video game. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater was a phenomenon. Even little nerdy Kevin down the street who would tell on you for stepping on the lines on the sidewalk was now trying to do an ollie in his driveway. If Tony Hawk wasn't on top of the world before, he is now. I mean, the game alone made like $1 bajillion, and when something makes $1 bajillion, they're gonna want another thing to make $1 bajillion. I don't know why I wrote that.
It's New Year's Eve 1999. What the hell are you people doing watching this crap?
It's the year 2000. Y2K wasn't a disaster.
Come back! I don't care if you're annoying! I need you!
George Bush is running for president, I am the sperm still, and many kids are anxiously awaiting the upcoming release of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. This was the next big thing. It included better character creation, a map editor, and even online features. Dude, in the year 2000, having online features was like taking a glimpse into the future. This is the same year as Majora's Mask. This game is held in high regard even today, being held as one of the best games of all time, at least according to Wikipedia, which is probably credible. Now, I'm not here to ride Tony and his Pro Skater meet all day.
Me riding has a special...
Dude, what the f***?
I'm here to talk about a character you've probably never heard of. What? Oh, sh**. What was his name again?
Peter, it's time to get up.
wall crawler himself, Spider-Man. Now, unlocking Spider-Man is not an easy task, but I would wager that a fair amount of people unlocked him without even knowing what they were in for. To get Spider-Man to do a pop shove it, all you have to do is 100% the career mode, which you're going to be playing 99% of the time anyway. That means all high scores, all collectibles, everything, all with a user-created character. Once completed, you can play as the web slinger. Just make sure the suit isn't so tight around the old web shooter.
So what have I been yelling about for like 8 hours? Hidden characters are a dying breed. Instead of hiding new, interesting characters in unique ways, it's more common for them to just be slapped onto the store page for a couple bucks. On top of that, since information is more readily available today than ever before, it's extremely hard to hide anything for more than a few hours after the game comes out, or even earlier. There are more examples that I could and honestly really do want to talk about. I don't want these hidden characters to be forgotten. Hopefully, these kinds of trends in gaming make a comeback soon.